Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about McDonald's hamburgers supply chain, and now my colleague will introduce the first part to all you guys.
As the picture shows on the PPT, we have decided to choose Big Mac Burger as the primary products to examine the supply chain of McDonald's. Based on the information provided by McDonald's website, there are four main suppliers, which are OSI Company, UK and Smith Farmer, McCain Company, and Novel Foods. Except for Spanish Farmer, the rest of three main suppliers are all located in the UK, which can maximize the freshness of raw materials and the reduction of transportation costs. Other than local sourcing allows McDonald's to get the great control over the raw materials to ensure the quality of products. In order to explain the supply chain of McDonald's clearly, I draw a flow diagram to help me. First of all, the supply chain is started with UK farmers, who are the supplier of beef parts, and then after the collection of beef parts, the beef will be sent to the production facility for McDonald's to refresh and refreeze, and then the fresh and frozen beef will be sent to the UK distribution of McDonald's. The final step is distribution center will send the beef to each restaurant of McDonald's in the UK.
Following up the McDonald's supply chain, I will be talking about the key issues in management, inventory, and warehouse and distribution. Firstly, ensure there is enough inventory and stock in regards to the day-to-day running of the business. And the issue of the inventory is master for forecasting the amount of the needed is very important. If inventory is insufficient, then there is no way to ensure maximization of profit, and it would potentially affect the business significantly. Sixthly, the warehouse. Ensure there is enough space room and the stock to be placed, and this stock kept within the warehouse stay fresh. The issue is warehouse is size of the warehouse not being able to fit all inventory. Warehouse food causing inventory to become unfresh, like the electricity. For example, if the electricity stops, the freezer will be stop working and the product will be making the unfresh. Finally, the distribution ensure that the correct product is distributed to the correct restaurant. This makes it specific stock. Like this chart, the head of the regional planner, and there will be communication with restaurant managers, those email and telephone. And if miss the communication, the email or telephone, then it would be cause incorrect distribution, leading to the business falling.
For the characteristics of the materials parts, as we all know, there are three stages of the cooperate the materials, which is inputs, process, and outputs. For the first stage, inputs, the most important thing is the raw materials, such as OSI beef and potato and cheese from the noble food. And we also need the staff to help the customer to order the hamburgers, and we also need the staff use machine to create the hamburger to customer. The processing of burger making is the staff use the machine to combine all raw materials to customer, and the last one is the output. The output of this part is the McDonald hamburgers, and it also need to deliver to customer. And the next part is the management of the materials. There are two ways to manage the materials, which is the first in first out and the first in last out. But in these situations, the first in last out is not work for McDonald hamburger because all materials need to keep it fresh, and also need to eat before out of the expiration dates. So the only way is to use the first in first out, which means to sell the product by the production orders.
And next part is introduce the risk and sustainability issues for McDonald. There are two major risks for McDonald. First one is legal risk. Operating in developed markets like the US and Europe, McDonald's faces tighter regulation. Some regulated changes, including printing nutrition content on item, and product packaging and taxation. And second one is called reputation risk. There's a range of topics such as food quality, treatment of employees. All of these contribute to changes in consumer perception of McDonald's and the food it serves. Trends in food habits such as move towards a healthy menu also impact the sales when McDonald's can't keep up with the demands. Introducing a healthy menu and changing the image from a junk food restaurant to a healthy food restaurant poses a huge risk due to customers' set perception about McDonald's. Also, a lot of marketing budget is already committed into the existing items. And next part is a sustainability issues. The first one is environmental pollution. McDonald's use waste and recycling, and 19% reported recycling used oil, and 77% reported recycling crumbled cardboard. And second one is the sourcing. McDonald's already joined into the JRSB organization at 2016. That organization finalized a global set of principles for what suitable beef should be. This is an example of McDonald's trying to change their perception of being a junk food restaurant to a healthy food restaurant. It's by importing verified sustainable beef. They began to purchase verified sustainable beef during 2016.
And now we are turning to the measure performance of supply chain. I will divide into four main points. The first one is time, second one is cost, and third one is profitability, and the last one is good customer service. And there are three extension factors about time, which are lead time, delivery time, and shipping time to customers. Lead time refers to time which cost to produce hamburgers, and delivery time is the time which cost to deliver materials from warehouse to restaurant, and shipping time is time which cost to deliver food to customers. Because McDonald's is a fast food restaurant, so speed is very important. And minimize cost and profitability is quite connection with each other, because business main aim is to maximize profitability and minimize cost. And the last one is good customer service. Good customer service can attract customers, and then customers will choose McDonald's instead of KFC's hamburgers and Burger King's hamburgers. And now we are turning into the leverage between technology and the supply chain. There are two main sides. The first one is strength and the second one is weakness. There are 4 main points about strength. The first one is high production rate, and the second one is safe wages. The third one is less time consuming, and the last one is standardization. Mechanized production line needs less workers, and this means the company needs less employees, and then this can save wages for the company. And the productivity is also improved, and so it's got higher productivity. And then a mechanized production line can produce the same standardization hamburgers for customers. And for the weakness side, there are 2 main points. The first one is machine reliability, because machineries are not always this reliable, and manual mistakes can cause the faults for the machineries. Then there was some problem with the hamburgers. And the last part, there are some unpredictable factors we need to concern about hamburgers. And there are some power, for example, power outage. When power outage happens, then machineries cannot work because no electricity. And that's all we talk about today. Thank you for listening.